and just reminding business owners that signage matters. Even if you have an older sign, upgrade it to something new because people really do value and judge your business based on your signage.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Brand, a podcast where we take a look behind the businesses and brands that we all know and love. We believe that behind every great business, and particularly behind every great brand, is a great story and great people. And that's what we like to unfold and talk about. And so I'm excited about our guest today. We have with us Stacie Dean from Carr Signs. And Carr Signs is a business that's been around for a long time and has a great history. So I'm looking forward to introducing you to more about them and what they do. And I'm looking forward to learning more about them and what they do. So Stacie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love the space. Feels very comfortable.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, we do love our space. We always say we have the coolest space in downtown Owasso, but the bar's not super high, but we do like it. And I appreciate the compliments about it. And we appreciate you coming over all the way from Grand Blanc. Is that where you're...
Actually, the office is located in Flint, but I live in Fenton.
Okay.
I've lived in Fenton for the last 25 plus years, maybe a little bit longer. So I loved driving in because everything here felt like small town feel, which is great. Fenton still is like that. We're growing, but still has a nice small town feel, which I love.
Yes. No, we love Fenton. That's actually how we got to know each other, through the networking group at Networking Now in Fenton. And Casey was a member of that. For our sales and marketing director was probably a year and a half, 2 years. And then Morgan and I joined. And you've noticed the drive is substantial. And so doing that every Thursday morning at 7 was a challenge. And we got to the point where we just felt like we weren't being as consistent as we needed to be. And getting a sub from here was always a challenge. And so we've been super excited because we've been able to stay connected with our Networking Now friends through the podcast. And we've had a lot of them over. And we appreciate that group. Actually, Morgan and I were just talking. We want to make a pop in here at some point and just see everybody.
You're definitely missed. And now I do understand a little bit more about why it was a little bit of a jog to get there.
So hard. Yeah. No, we felt bad. And the nature of our business is, I'm going to start my little timer here so that we stay on track. I forgot to start it. The nature of our business is, it's very common that we could get a call today and say, hey, we need a video shoot tomorrow. We have this client coming in, or we have this patient coming in, or we have this thing happening. And we run a pretty tight crew. So, it's not uncommon that we would get called at the last minute to have to go do something. And then finding a sub the day before to go to Fenton, or even someone that's in Fenton, is always tough. So we're just like, we don't want to continue to say we're going to be there and not be there. And so it was hard for us to step away. But I'm glad we've been able, like I said, to stay connected with the group. And I've had so many people, we still have a bunch on the books that we're excited about. So
great.
So before we get into Carr Signs, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
My name is Stacie Dean. I've lived in Fenton for a long time. I was a Swartz Creek graduate for high school. I went on to go to Mott Community College in U of M Flint, and I studied child development. I was a gymnast, and I kind of fell into my own business when I was 18 and ran that for about 30 years before I made the transition. I first tried to retire, and I just found out it wasn't for me. I like having something to focus on. And so after about a year and a half, I ironically fell into the sign business because Lisa Nichols and I believe you have already interviewed her husband, Jeff. We were co-president for Fenton Football, and we did a crazy fundraiser with banners and sold an obnoxious amount of money. And when I went to go get the banners made, my husband had already known the owner of the sign company, and he was like, what is she doing now? That's a lot of banners. So that's kind of how I transitioned into signs.
Love it. Love it. That's a great story. Well, so Carr Signs has been around for a long period of time.
107 years.
That's incredible. Any business that makes it to, 10 years, I think puts them in a top tier of businesses that make it, but 100 years is incredible. So tell us about your role at Bill Carr Signs. What do you do there?
So I'm a sales associate. So I'm in charge of project management with all different facets of businesses. We do everything from vehicle wraps to exterior signs or interior signs. We do display boards. So there's a lot of different projects. I particularly have a vast amount of customers. I do hospitals, work with banks, work with new businesses or businesses that are just trying to get a fresh look.
Yeah.
And so I really start from the very beginning with the customer and get to know them, know what they're looking for. It's kind of like my job to get to know their personality. And by doing that, it kind of helps us gear towards what kind of story they're trying to tell with their sign.
Yeah.
I know that sounds odd, but really that's
Oh,
like the big picture of what we're trying to do is take everything about your business and then display it in a way that kind of tells your story.
yeah. Well, I think it's so important. I mean, your sign, especially if you have a good location, your sign is probably going to be the thing that people will see the most. And so you want it to be something that represents you well, that's
Yeah.
visible. And, I know like, uh, we do graphic design here. We've designed a lot of signs. We've never made one before. Actually, we did make one for our church, but that was a side project. Never again. But I love the process of working with sign companies and helping them get it. But the process is way different, than
Sure.
building a digital graphic or something. We owned the print shop downstairs right below us here that,
Oh,
that
nice.
we did, custom screen printed apparel and embroidery. And we did small signs and banners through like a local or through like a third party, but we never made them. But the process of building something, the challenge is like making it look good and represent their brand and their colors. Of course, a lot of people think their logo should tell everyone everything that they do. We always tell it's not your logo's job to tell people what you do. But some businesses come, particularly construction companies, I've noticed, they want their logo to have an excavator and a hammer and nails and like everything, And so putting all that on a sign can be very challenging because you want it to be visible. So how do you help people through the process of determining like what the sign should really be? What are some of the best practices you would tell people for a sign?
Well, we first start off by saying, which is a crazy statistic, but about 80% of people, when they walk by your building, they judge your business based on your signage.
Mhm.
So it is very
I believe
important to
that.
have clean, um, nice lighting. You don't think that you're judged that way, but people have already kind of
Definitely.
thought about what style of business, how successful they think you are just by looking at your sign. And I think clean is best. Sometimes, like what you were saying, customers will just want so much because there's so many things, and they're very proud of their logo
Yeah.
and getting out their brand or their whatever their motto is that they want to say. But clean and simple is best, and colors are important. Blue and black, even red, are very popular signage colors. That if it's kind of been now that like created in a way that it's the bold colors that draw like your eyes to the sign first. But I mean, a sign can be made of anything, very simple, very clean, just nice bold lettering is really all you need to draw an eye your way.
Well, and I think, different colors evoke different emotions. That's why like you see
Very
fast
true.
fast food restaurants all have some sort of red and yellow because there's statistics to show those are colors that make you hungry. I don't know if that's true, but they're all doing it. So I think those things are important. And I think now we have an epidemic of AI generated logos, which are extremely hard to, uh, go on different applications,
Sure.
especially if they want some sort of channel lettering or 3D. Some of these AI generated logos that people come to us with are like, that's never, that's never
Yeah,
gonna,
a lot of
yeah,
customers they'll now they are creating AI logos and they'll send it to us and our designer will be like, "Oh, we cannot produce this."
yeah.
Um because it's just not
Well,
producible.
I think people don't realize like what might look good on your computer screen. Like really, it pops and it's got all these gradients and it's got all these different textures and that looks really cool. But if you try to put that on a T-shirt or you try to put that on a sign or you try to put that embroidery, like it doesn't translate well. And so, I one of the things we kind of try to encourage our clients with, there's a lot of great usages of AI, but don't let AI become your graphic designer because number one, everybody can tell it's AI. And number two, it's not a practical. Typically, the logos that they generate are not practical for multiple uses. When we work with a company on a logo design, we're always telling them to consider what this logo will look like on different applications, on a vehicle wrap, on an embroidered polo, on a hat, on a sign out front of your building, because they all should look very similar, and it's hard sometimes to do that.
Well, for instance, we just are working with a neighborhood right now, and they did an AI generated logo to kind of show what they were looking for. But then our designer was trying to explain to them like the AI just creates whatever is going to look beautiful, right? And so it almost looked like one of those Thomas Kincaid
Yeah,
where the light shines
yeah,
through, and so it took her a long time to try to get the fading out for the sunset to look like it was actually, and she did it. She did a phenomenal job.
yeah,
But AI, we have to be careful with for sure. It doesn't necessarily work like what you're saying when you try to transpose it to a shirt or a sign or
right.
a vehicle.
Yeah, and so that, I mean, I think that's just something that we're seeing happen. I'm sure you guys are seeing it a lot too, and people get excited and of what they bring us. We just had someone call us yesterday and said we need this turned around quickly. We had AI generate this, but this isn't going to work for what we need to do it for. Can you
Right.
guys turn this into a vector? We said yes, we definitely can, but it's not going to look like this. It's
Right.
going to be different. So, you know, you don't know what you don't know, right? So I think
Correct.
if you're out there and you're thinking about like, I need a new logo for my business or an event that we're doing, or I need a sign or a banner, like, I think AI to me is good to generate an idea. Like we've even used it here. Like somebody gives us a bunch of ideas for a logo and we'll say, generate an idea. And it's just a starting point. But usually what AI is going to output is not necessarily going to be practical. So let's talk about the history of Bill Carr Signs. You said 107 years.
107 years, four
Incredible. So
generations,
it's family owned.
family owned.
Um, you said you guys do signs, banners, vehicle wraps,
We do
trade show
all,
displays.
yeah, we do window vinyl. We do interior window vinyl if you're just looking to try to create some privacy. I know here you guys have beautiful open spaced windows, which a lot of people love, including myself. But sometimes in offices, you like to have a little bit of privacy. So we do that. We do 3M safety film, which is very important for safeties of schools. I sell a lot of projects where you can apply the 3M safety film on a window. And while it's not bulletproof, it does allow the glass not to shatter. You hate to talk about where society is today and the safety of schools. And we've had so many unfortunate events when it comes to shooters, or I mean, it's so disheartening. But the 3M safety film is a clear protective film, so even if an intruder was to go in and take like a sledgehammer to a window, they can't break through the glass, which is how the majority of intruders get in. So we do a lot of that for school
Wow.
systems as well as window perf, because sometimes you just want your space to look
You
fun,
and you
right?
and
And
you want to be able to
so
see out one side.
correct.
Yeah.
You can have a little bit of privacy
Yeah.
and be able to see outside, but they can't see in. And then you can also just make it fun. Use your logo and colors and make everything just look a little more branded to your school, create a little more pride for your communities. So we do a little bit of everything. Vehicle wraps, we do vehicle wraps. We are so busy with that particular part of our company. We wrap a vehicle every day.
Yeah.
And people don't understand until they have a vehicle wrap. We have a lot of repeated customers because you're driving around, and what
Driving
do you
billboard.
do when you stop? You're looking around, and it's constant advertisement. Now, a lot of the companies that we work with for vehicle wraps, they want to have their QR code put on their vehicle because someone will walk by your vehicle and just kind of eye catching what you do, and they can use the QR code to go right to your business. And a lot of times they can set it up so they can see like how many hits you're getting, or you can take them right to a specific part of your website.
Yeah.
So that's been really helpful. And normally companies that have done one vehicle wrap always end up getting more because of that reason.
Yeah, for sure. Now, COVID resurrected the QR code. It was
Yes.
dying. It was like a thing, and all of a sudden, COVID came, and now the QR code is back. We use them all the time. They are kind of ugly, but people know how to use them and know what it's
Yeah.
for. Um, so when it comes to choosing, I want to ask this question because we have a lot of clients that, come to us for these types of things as well. Every business has a limited number of marketing dollars that they can spend on,
Hmm.
so do I want to spend this on, I just had a friend of ours who opened a business. They're like, I have about $5,000. Do I want to spend it on wrapping our van? Do I want to spend it on a new website? Do I want to spend it on a social media campaign? And what do I want to do? And ultimately, he decided to go with a van wrap, which it looks
Hmm.
really good. They're driving around all the time. What I told him is the website they have for a new business is fine. It's not anything stellar, but for what they do, it's fine. Like it works. It's functional. It's mobile friendly, so it's fine. So I said, for that 5,000, I said, I think, you know, for your case, because you guys are traveling around, a good wrap van would be nice. How do you advise people when they come to you with, they say, hey, we have 2,500 bucks, or do we get a sign on our building? Do we wrap a vehicle? Do we get a temporary banner? Like, what are the ways you advise people in that situation?
Well, the great thing about signage is there's a signage budget for everyone,
Yeah.
and you can really display something simple in a low budget, and we can go as high as they're wanting to go. So I would say it's probably best on what style of business they're in, exactly what you said. If they have a company that travels around a lot, a vehicle wrap is really a great way to advertise. But there's so many different styles of signs that you could go so simple and do a non-lit sign that doesn't cost very much money. You could do window vinyl. We have a lot of companies that are just starting out and their budget's really small.
Hmm.
So we'll end up just doing window vinyl for them before
Yep.
we even do a sign. Oddly enough, we were talking about statistics before. Most people are looking at your window vinyl before they're even looking at your
Looking out.
sign
Yeah.
because people don't pay attention to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
They walk around and they are looking around and they really have looked at your sign and they just maybe haven't noticed it where the window vinyl is right at your eye level and pulls a person in. Um, it's there's just so many different styles of signage, but I would say not to worry because there's a budget for everyone. You could get a temporary banner, or you could go as much as a vehicle wrap or channel letters, or it would just depend on where you're at, what style of business you're in. But there's a sign for everyone.
Yeah, I like that. No, I think it's important that you have you have some sort of visual representation. We're big, obviously we're a digital company, right? So we're really
Sure,
big on your digital presence as well. But I think like particularly for service businesses and for little storefronts, you have to have something. Matter of fact, the people that bought the print shop below us, we took our AZ sign down. We just moved it up, which I don't love where it's at because it's too big for the space. We're getting a new one done right now. We have a local sign company here that we work with. And people really don't look way up there. We're
no,
actually thinking we're going to do something on our windows, like maybe just half the bottom with some perforated something, but we love our view, so we don't want to. But, people will come to us and I'm sorry, the print shop below, they went like 6 months without putting up a sign, and then finally, like within a week, they put up window vinyl and a sign. But people were still thinking it was but we had sold it to them. They were thinking it was still our business. We were still getting calls where people come up here because
sure,
so I think it is important. It is the way people identify you. And so I think, and they were like holding out because they wanted to get the sign they wanted and it was a little more expensive.
sure.
And so my advice was like when we did that, when we first bought the printer, we just put a banner up there. And the city will only allow you to have a banner up for I think 6 months.
Actually, it
But
depends on the township.
yeah,
Some are even 6 weeks. It just
ours
depends on
ours
where you're
here
at.
was 6 months.
That's really nice. A
Yeah,
nice long
it
time.
was 6 months. So we were able to put something really nice up there, and it represented us. But that way you have it. So I just think, if you're watching, you're a business owner. You should have some sort of visual representation out there, whether it's on a vehicle. And if you can't afford a wrap, you can buy magnets. There's all kinds of things you can do, but some way get your business out there. I think
Well,
that's
it's funny that you say that too, because I was a business owner myself for so long, and I didn't even realize myself how important signage was until I got into the signage
yeah,
business. I look at it from a totally different perspective now in regards to how important your signage is, how people judge your business based on your signage.
for
I know
sure.
we spoke about that before, but it's just so important. In talking about like when you were talking about how like there's so many different styles of signage, even the electric messaging centers are so big right now.
Yeah.
um you can, it depends on the style of pixel that you use. And if you, sometimes for businesses, if you're far off the road, you don't need it to be crystal clear because people are just using it to drive by. But it's so nice if your township allows that style of sign, because we use think signs and it's all cloud based. It's so easy to use. You can use it from your phone, your computer, anywhere, and you can change the statement on it, the colors, and it's very eye catching. A lot of banks use them, churches, schools,
Yeah.
but a lot of business owners, depending on if you're on a busy street, those can also really get out a message and be very eye drawing to a customer. So that's just another style of sign that we sell.
Today's episode is brought to you by AZ Branding Agency, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. If your business is great but nobody knows it, you don't have a marketing problem, you've got a branding problem. At AZ, we help you stand out with bold branding by creating websites, social media, video, and photography that actually gets noticed. Because attention is the #1 currency in business, and your brand deserves more of it. Learn more at azeebranding.com, and let's get your brand the attention it deserves.
Well, this is interesting. I think I want to take the conversation here because, number one, like I think in any sort of marketing, branding, advertising, and that's kind of what we both do in our own different ways. There's a perceived value, right? So
Right.
there are some people that have this idea that a vehicle wrap is the most important thing I should do. And so to have them spend $5,000 to get a vehicle wrap, it's not a big deal for them. But then to get them to spend the same $5,000 for a social media campaign or a website, they
Sure.
don't see the value. And sometimes it's vice versa. Some people are like, I need a website, but then they don't have a sign on the front of their building. And so I think part of our challenge here, our education is making people understand the value of these things. I remember when I started AZ 11 years ago, trying to convince business owners to have a Facebook page. And
Sure.
they didn't have Facebook business pages back then.
No.
And so people are like, why would I put my business on there? That's for kids. It's stupid. Like, I don't, it's kind of like how TikTok is perceived now. And I just saw this opportunity that people could really gain a lot of exposure if they posted about their business.
Sure.
And now I don't have to convince anybody that they should have a Facebook page. Every business has one now. But now it's convincing people they need to use it. They need to post things. They need to put
Right.
themselves out there. It's a challenge. And so, we were working with a company recently who has they are investing $65 million
Wow.
in this renovation of this
I need to
project that
pass them my card.
I know. Well, they put out a sign out in front of it's the Owasso Speedway. And they put out a sign that was $250,000. This humongous sign, Agnew Sign
Sure.
Company. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
They're the
Heard of
ones
them.
that did it. Mark Agnew's been a longtime friend of mine, but they put this incredible sign. I mean, it looks like you're pulling up to like Talladega or something.
Wow.
But they're investing all this in grandstands, and they have like 7 wrapped vehicles. All the race cars that come, they're now like certified NASCAR, so they can do like the short track NASCAR events, and they're investing all this money, which is great. It's so good for our community. It's bringing people to Owasso. But then they reached out to us for a website, and the website they showed me that they wanted was from this other racetrack. Was like probably a $10,000 to $15,000 website.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I said, yeah, we can definitely do that. But then they said, well, our budget for our website is $2,500. And because it's a perceived value, right? To them,
Correct.
to spend $250,000 on this sign it was not a big deal because people are driving by. It makes sense to them. But to spend $2,500 on this thing or $10,000 on this thing that is really, to me, when people are looking for a place to go watch races or a place for entertainment, they're looking on the internet.
Right.
And
And
so
everything's connected. Your sign, your website, you want to be
yeah,
branded everywhere. And website, signage, vehicle wraps, it's all connected because you want
it
that to
should be.
be, it should be
It should
connected.
be. Yeah. And that's why I think I want to discuss. I think it'd be a great way for us to kind of maybe work together on helping our guests and listeners understand that it doesn't have to be one or the other. It really is
They're
there's
connected.
there's incredible value in print marketing
Sure.
for the right print marketing for the right business, and there's incredible value in digital marketing. But it's the perceived value. So again, trying to convince a client that, hey, this $10,000 investment It's going to bring you this much web traffic. It's going to get you this many new clients. It's going to sell this many tickets for you. That's a challenge. And I'm sure you've had times where you've bid a sign and people got the sticker shock. And
Oh,
they're
they
like,
do. And they don't see the
Yeah.
value in having somebody see that sign every single day, or they don't understand that their business is, that's how you judge the business, right?
Exactly.
It's so important. And I feel like what we talked about just a minute ago, that it should be all interconnected. And correct, business owners out there, I used to be one of them, where I didn't see the value in it until you really start to see people walking into your business because of your sign, or when they first look up a website, you want to be the first one that pops up because there's so many competitors out there.
Yeah.
So investing money in all of those types of websites or signs or whatever it is, you want to be noticeable, and it's all
Yes.
important. The colors that we talked about before that will pop, or the website that it's very everything's branded and connected, so that when someone looks you up, they're like, oh, I saw that
Yeah.
sign, or I saw that on a vehicle, or
Yes.
I feel like having that be familiar is what makes customers feel safe with you.
Well, and this is where I wanted to go with this, because if you've watched any of our episodes, you've probably heard me say, I probably say it every single episode, the most valuable currency in any business or organization is attention.
Sure.
We're all trying to get a little bit of attention, not necessarily for ourselves, but for our business. Why are we doing a podcast? To get a little attention for Bill Carr signs.
Sure.
Why would you put a sign out? To get some attention. Someone's driving by. Oh, look at that. What is that? You post on social media. You make a website. You put a little yard sign after a project that you just did. You put a banner, a vehicle wrap. It's all for attention.
Sure.
And to me, as a business owner, instead of a marketing strategy, we are pushing people to have an attention strategy. What can I do to get attention? All people's attention spans are so short today.
Correct.
If you can just get them on social media to stop, that's a win.
Oh,
If you
100%.
can if you're driving down the road and you can get them to look, that's a win.
Sure.
Sometimes we'll design billboards for people and they want their whole mission statement on the billboard, and it's like, no one's going to read that.
Correct.
Find a great
Simple is
picture.
best.
A great picture. You know, we have a barbecue company, and the first time we did a billboard for them, you know, it had a picture of the building. It had 4 or 5 different menu items. It said like Real Texas Barbecue in Shiawassee County, located in Corona, Michigan, website, social medias, you know, and then like ribs, brisket. Like, it's like, I'm like 20 words or less. And even that's probably too much. And he's like, no, we got to let everyone know. So then I talked them into, we helped them identify a slogan, which was Real Michigan Barbecue. You know,
I love it.
there's Texas barbecue, there's Memphis barbecue, there's Carolina barbecue. Nobody's doing Michigan barbecue. And their process is very unique to Michigan. They use only Michigan source woods, the way that they smoke, the rubs that they make, Traverse City cherries. It's all a Michigan story. So I'm like, let's invent Real Michigan Barbecue. And at first he was like, oh, that's not a thing. I'm like, let's make it a thing. And it's been highly successful. So when they did 2 billboards on I-69, one going west, one coming east. And he's having us design it. And I said, let's do this. All I want it to be, we can have a picture. They have this really cool silo like in the front of their building. So let's just put that. And all I wanted to say is, what is Real Michigan Barbecue? And then just exit 105. That's it. And he's like, man, no ribs, no brisket. Like, pictures of food make people hungry. I'm
You're
like,
drawing people in.
but I'm like, you just want to get their attention.
Yes.
And it's huge letters. What is Real Michigan BBQ? That's a question that people would want. What is that? And they get so many people. They're right off the expressway. They get so many people that come in and just, I got to see what this Michigan barbecue is all about. And now, when you push them, like, you don't know if it's going to work. You hope it's going to work. But when the mentality is not, does it look beautiful? Although it should look beautiful. The mentality is not, is it perfectly, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it perfect graphic design? Yes, it should be, but that's not the most important thing. The most important question you should ask, whether you're getting a sign, whether you're getting a vehicle wrap, whether you're doing a social media campaign, whether you're building a website, apparel, does this grab someone's attention?
Correct.
And if it doesn't, then that's where we can help you, you know? And And it's the right kind of attention too. Sometimes you can draw the wrong kind of attention.
Sure. And I don't want business owners to feel like they have to have everything together also to grab or to get a sign made.
Yes.
We do logos for them. Our job is to really get to know your business so that we can help portray what message you're trying to get out there, and you want to be grabbing attention. And so part of our job is to gather information. And then we also, what's unique about our sign company is that we do free layouts. A lot of people don't. So
that's
sometimes
nice,
it's
yeah.
hard for you to know what it's going to look like. You have something in your mind. Maybe they did AI generated, and we're trying to get them the look
Coach
that they're
them along,
looking
yeah.
for. Yes. And so we will take pictures of the area of where like you want to post your signage, and then our graphics designer can create a layout for you, and we don't charge for that. And so
That's
then we
great.
put it out there so people can see it, because most people are visual learners, right?
Sure.
So they like to see it right in front of them. And so that kind of helps start the conversation process of what they like or what they didn't like. And it kind of helps us nail down specifically what we're looking for, and that we are unique that way. A lot of companies do charge per layout, and so it's nice for us to be able to offer that as a free service.
Yeah. Well, and this is why, for those of you watching, and a lot of our viewers are business owners and entrepreneurs, and so I think, what the message today is, if you're a construction company, you've probably gotten pulled onto a job where somebody did the DIY deck or the DIY countertop, and you had to fix it because turned out DIY wasn't really the best scenario for that person. If I need dental work, I'm not going to Google how to pull a tooth. I'm going to go see a dentist.
We'd hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So I'm big on expertise. And if you're a business owner, like, your brand and how you display it is so important, especially today in the world of digital social media where everybody is looking at, I read the statistic that, like 20 years ago, people looked at less than, I think it was less than 200 pictures a year. Because the only time you saw pictures is if someone pulled it out of their wallet, or you're looking
Sure.
through a photo album or maybe a magazine. But
And now
now
Instagram, that's all it is.
now people look at
Everything pictures.
sometimes they say people look at 100 to 200 pictures a day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So now everyone's a photo critic, right? Oh,
Sure.
that's bad lighting, or that's that's pixelated, or that they were looking into the sun. So now your photos have to look better, Same thing
Right.
with video. Your video has to be better. And so in this digital world where everyone's judging based on aesthetic and appearance, I think your brand deserves more than just something you thought of in AI. And I'm not against AI. We use it all the time.
I think it
But-
can definitely be super helpful, especially I just worked with a doctor the other day, and he used AI to generate what he thought the sign what he wanted it to look like. And so when we actually went to the space, we had to explain to him that how his substrate was, it wouldn't fit that way. But it still does help us get a
Gives you an
little
idea.
unique part of what he's
Absolutely.
looking for. So
There-
I think there's some benefit
There's
to
some
it.
incredible value, and to use it to generate an idea or to get a concept, I think is great. But I think some people have just wholesaled their whole brand to AI. I was having a conversation with somebody online the other day about using AI for your business, but not necessarily for your brand. And there is a difference. You've heard me say this at Networking Now. If people don't know you, you have a marketing problem. But if people don't choose you, you have a branding problem. The brand
Correct.
is why people choose you. The brand is what people feel when they think about you. The brand is how people recognize you. And sometimes people think the brand is your logo and your colors, and that's just a visual representation of your brand. It's like the face of your
Correct.
brand. If I'm walking through Walmart and I see your face, that's like, oh, that's Stacie Dean.
Right.
That's how I recognize you. But whether or not I come up to you, or whether or not I walk 3 aisles out of the way to avoid you, that's your brand.
Right.
Right. And so what people feel when they see your logo, that's why having the same logo on everything is important. What people see when they feel, or, what people feel when they see your storefront or your sign or a social media post, that's your brand. And so if your brand is the reason people choose you, that's what we want. We obviously want people to know we exist, but at the end of the day, we want them to choose us.
And that's what a good sign is for.
Yeah. And who
A
cares?
good sign will draw people in, helps people recognize who you are and what you do.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in websites and marketing and everything that you're talking about, social media, it's all so important.
Attention.
It's attention.
It's all to get
and you want
attention.
to have a sign that draws attention to your business.
And I think that a lot of businesses, they kind of put their brand on the back burner. And to me, if the brand is the very thing that's causing people to choose whether or not they shop with you, because at the end of the day, who cares if people know me if they don't choose me,
Right.
right?
And that's what a good sign is
Yeah.
for also, because there's so many different styles of businesses. There might be 10 other style of business that you have down the street or in your town. And people who are driving by, that's how you're going to get noticed, is your sign will set you apart from other businesses. And it doesn't have to be expensive. We talked about vehicle wraps. You don't even have to spend $5,000 for a vehicle wrap. You can just do vehicle lettering.
Yep.
And that's so inexpensive, but it helps people notice who you are and what you do.
100%. And so I guess the moral of the story today is your brand is important.
Yes.
Make sure people see it, make sure it's consistent. But I think most importantly, see an expert. Reach out to Bill Carr Signs and say, here's what we got. Here's our budget. I want to get some attention for my business. What would you think are the best ways I can do that within this budget? And I'm certain that Stacie and the team there will advise you on the best ways to, and we've had people come to us and say, we have $2,000. How should I spend it?
Right.
And there have been times where I've advised them to do something digital. And there have been times where I've advised them to do something tangible that you can see and it's there. So, I think just like, I would see an expert for a toothache, you should see an expert for your brand. It's that important.
And
It's
I'm
that
kind of
important.
offer a unique perspective since I used to be a business owner myself. And now that I'm in a sales associate role, I really try to help business owners find the best price, the best value, the best bang for their buck, but also give them a nice bold sign.
Well, I think that Bill Carr and their people there made the right decision when they said, let's get Stacie Dean on our team.
Oh, thank you. I love what I do. I really do. I love getting to know people. I really feel like getting to know someone and listening to them helps me pull out what they're looking for. And there's nothing that I love more at the end of the day when a sign goes up and they're just smiling from ear to ear, because that's exactly what they wanted. And that's our goal every day, is just to make a customer feel like their story is being represented best by a great sign.
That's awesome. That is really cool. Well, listen, obviously, you don't have a company that's been around for 107 years if you haven't taken care of a lot of people along the way. And a business does not last that long if it doesn't have great service, great people, great values, great products and results. And so,
and I love that we're not a super huge company, right? Like we still service the whole state of Michigan. I've had several projects all the way north, south, up north. We do service everywhere, but we have our own service department. So when you buy a sign from us, we can stand behind it and offer service right there. Everybody in our business knows each other's name. We support each other.
That's great.
It's like a family. And they really believe in the value of your dollars. So when you come to us, it's important. We know that there's companies like you were just talking about down the street that had 250 million that was in their budget. Well, there's other companies out there.
250,000.
Oh, 250,000. That would be great.
250 million would be great.
You could sell a lot of signs for that. But I do, and our company does just as much value the person who has been saving and might only have $2,500. But they're still so proud, and it's still important. It's just as important, that type of job, versus our big corporations that we work with. Every customer matters. And I feel like at Bill Carr Signs, that's what sets us apart from a lot of other companies. We truly care about the service that you receive. And we want every style of customer to feel appreciated.
Yeah, I think, what you just said about feeling proud, the first, I think, oh man, it had to be, I guess the first 7 years of owning my business, we were in office buildings, which meant we didn't really get a sign. You could have a little placard, and we didn't get a sign out front. And I remember when I bought the print shop and I got to have a sign up on the building. Like I was talking to someone yesterday about, there's a few moments in my business where I just felt really, really proud. We were talking about that computer right there. That computer sitting over there was a $5,000 state-of-the-art iMac that would edit videos faster than anything out there. And when we could afford to spend $5,000 on a computer, I was like, man,
You made
we're
it.
making it. Yeah. But another one of those moments is when I saw the sign up in front that had my logo up there, and I'm like, this is,
You feel proud.
you feel like this
Yeah, a
is,
sense of
we're really
pride.
doing it. Yeah, we're really
Yes.
doing it. And so, yeah, that's great. And like I said, I think, Bill Carr signs, they service all over the state of Michigan,
Yes.
but particularly the Flint, Genesee areas where they're located. If you're in that area and you need help, you've got a business and you got, a budget, whatever it is, and you need some signage or some branding, reach out to Stacie or to the team at Bill Carr and they will help you. So before we go to our last segment, which is our Say It in 60, I want to let you have an opportunity to look right into this camera.
Okay.
Tell our audience, plug Bill Carr and you and how they can get a hold of you however you want. Go ahead and do that right now.
So again, my name is Stacie Dean. I work with Bill Carr Signs. I'm a sales associate there. We take great pride in selling all types of signage. If you are a business owner and you're looking to upgrade what you have, or you're a brand new business and you're looking to get your name out there, please give us a call for a free estimate. We would love the opportunity to help you decide how to tell the best story through your signage. You can reach us at Bill Carr Signs on our website, or you can call the office directly or reach me on my cell phone, which is 810-339-0221. Looking forward to working with you.
And that's incredible. I mean, a salesperson that works for a company would be willing to give you her cell phone number. That tells you. And listen, I'll just say this, like every interaction I've had with Stacie has been great. She's always smiling, always positive. And I know that your experience with her and with their company is going to be great. So make sure you reach out. They will definitely help you. Okay, Stacie. So we have one more segment that is everyone's favorite. It's called Say It in 60. It's
Okay.
where we want to take this last 60 seconds to get the last ounces of wisdom, if we can, from you. But these have to be quick answers.
Okay.
So, because there's 10 questions.
Got
and
it.
I think the record for networking now is Dr. Sandy Smith.
Oh, I'm not
I think
surprised.
she did it in 39 seconds. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Sandy. So if you want to brag to Dr. Sandy tomorrow, you got to do it quicker than
I
that.
will. I'll
right.
see you in the morning.
Okay. So, Micah, do you have a timer ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The timer starts now. Favorite hobby?
Reading.
Favorite place you've ever been?
Arizona.
Favorite food?
Italian.
A must-read book?
Must-read book. Oh gosh.
We can come back to it.
Yeah, come back to
Favorite
that one.
podcast?
Mile Higher.
A daily habit everyone should do?
Exercise.
A TV series worth binge watching?
Yellowstone.
In your opinion, what will help your brand grow more? Photography or video?
Video.
A great website or great social media presence?
You're catching me. Dr. Sandy is going to beat me for sure.
All right, we'll come back to that one. What does success mean to you?
Success has all different forms. I would say success is when you put yourself out there and try your best, then you're being successful.
Okay, a must-read book.
I'm not
We
going
can
to
keep
be able to
going.
get it. So I have so many favorite books out there, but I just finished a book that was by Rebecca Yarros, and it's called The Last Letter, and it was incredible. It was very thought-provoking. It was a good one.
Okay, and then what will help your brand grow more? A great website or great social media presence?
Equal.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so we didn't do it in 60 seconds, but we still got the
At
information.
least we got
so
it out. Yeah.
Studio audience, round of applause. All right, Stacie, is there anything else you'd like to say about Bill Carr Signs or about what you do to our audience before we go?
First of all, just thanking you for having me. It was a great experience being on here today, and just reminding business owners that signage matters. Even if you have an older sign, upgrade it to something new, because people really do value and judge your business based on your signage.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on and making the drive over. It's always good to interact with you. I think you'll see Morgan and I at some point here in the near future.
I hope so.
At
We
Networking
definitely
Now.
miss seeing you.
Oh, good. Well, we appreciate that, and we miss everybody as well. So thank you all for watching again. Highly recommend Stacie Dean and Bill Carr Signs. Great people, and they'll take great care of you, so make sure you reach out to them. And remember, as my mother always said, you can't and never could until you've tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends, and don't take the easy way out. We'll see you next time.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We want to connect with you. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let us know what guests you want us to have on the podcast. Follow us on social media for more branding insights, and thanks for watching Behind the Brand.